should be very fast, very powerful, almost like a mini Surron. The thing is, hello e-bike fans, we've been working hard bringing to you the latest and greatest in electric bikes. My garage is packed full, but let me share with you a new bike that we got today that's new to us, new to most people, and I know nothing about it. Andrew, what do we have here?
Yeah, we have a bike that we've never seen in this size. It's called the KOTTO from REVRides. It's got a massive 1200 amp hour LG battery and speeds of 26 plus miles per hour.
This comes to us from REVRides. Like I said, there is not much information on this bike out there. What I know from it is what I see here. Mini urban PEVs.
Let's get it open.
Okay.
Not a ton of packaging. Surprised there wasn't more foam pieces up top. Oh, so we got some metal pedals, 54.6 volt output, 2 amp charger. It's a 25 amp hour battery, so this should take you just under 13 hours to charge from empty to full.
So this bike battery is huge at 25 amp hours. Compare that to all these other e-bikes that we've reviewed recently. For being a mini bike, it's got a huge battery.
And it's made with LG battery cells, which is a nice touch.
And it would be nice if it came with some instructions. There is a QR code on the box, but we tried scanning it. It said, sorry, page unavailable or something. So right now we are just learning as we go along.
Plug it in. Normally it's going to be this M button.
All right.
Looks like it worked.
Got the KOTTO all set up. Let's do a walkthrough from top to bottom of this little mini bicycle slash motorbike.
On the left side we have these faux leather grips, hydraulic brake lever, the control module for your horn, turn signals, front light, which looks pretty decent. A module to adjust the pedal assist levels. There are some keys to remove the battery, but the battery isn't easily removable. You have to remove this whole cover. Center display, Shimano thumb shifter, thumb throttle with a kill switch, and then another hydraulic brake lever. A lot of cable wrap in front. This is a pretty thick cable. I'm surprised this is up here. I've never seen this thick of a cable in the front. You can lock out the suspension. Right below the light, we have a metal fender. And then this is a very unique tire that we've never seen on an e-bike before. It's an 18 by 3 inch tire, but it's got a really street profile, very similar to what you see on a crotch rocket type bike. So I'm excited to put this on the street, but it's really not gonna be a great off-road tire.
That being said, we've tested mini bikes like this before, mini seated scooters, and I would say they're probably not the best for off-roading.
They're 2-piston hydraulic brakes with big brake pads. LG battery behind this shield, 48 volt, 25 amp hours. We have a nice long seat where you can adjust where you're sitting on it depending on how tall you are. So you have adjustable air suspension. I thought it was just coil suspension in the rear. Another metal fender, another 18 by 3 inch tire, 750 watt motor with a peak output of 1500 watts. We have another large brake disc with 2-piston hydraulic brakes and a Shimano tourney derailleur.
All right, and then back here you've got a nice kickstand. The kickstand is away from the pedals, doesn't hit the pedals when it's down, so we like that. Let's get this thing freshly charged, get our safety gear on, and get on the road. All right, here we are. We've got the KOTTO 750L all set up, charged up. We're geared up and we're gonna take this little mini e-bike out for a rip. Andrew, what do you think?
It's got a nice suspension, but a little underwhelming with the power delivery.
Well, let's go take it for a ride. We'll tell you what we love about it, what we hate about it, and who we think should get this bike. Okay, we're gonna test the top speed and the braking test, see how it does. So I gave him plenty of runway because it takes a little bit to get to that top speed.
That still worked really well, but I only got to 20 miles per hour, so still not super fast, but it did stop on a dime.
So 20, 23 miles an hour was the max we could get it to. I saw you were trying to pedal to help it out. How did that go?
It's pretty worthless. There's really not a lot of pressure that you can put into the pedaling, even on gear 7. One other thing I forgot to mention is I did adjust the P settings on this. So a lot of people may think that I'm in stock P settings. I adjusted it for maximum power.
we have been ripping around on the KOTTO. This bike has really cool, aggressive looking styling. It's one of the coolest looking bikes that we've ridden.
Just like Jimmy said, the aesthetics of this looks really cool. The saddle's nice and soft. Suspension to me is surprisingly nice.
The battery on this thing is huge, and so between the pedal power and the battery, you expect to go long distances on this.
It's 48 volts, 25 amp hours, where it's at least double the size of most e-bikes. The front headlight looks sweet. It's got these cool daytime lights.
And while we're here, the cable management is nice. I do like this type of cable wrap, and it's nice that they've minimized the amount of cables running around. There also is quick release, so it makes it easier if a component is to fail, that you can unplug that and swap it out.
And these brakes, they surprisingly work well for not being a name brand, but they're paired with very thick disc brakes. And I do like the tread on this tire being a street profile.
And then just to talk about styling a little bit more, I love how the battery is enclosed, and they've done a tasteful job with the branding KOTTO. They have a nice mesh material here. It's little accents like this on the back attached to the suspension makes it look really aggressive, really tough. That also adds to some of the downfalls to this bike, which we'll talk about later. The thing with this bike though, it's like a blank slate, and there are a lot of ways you can upgrade this bike. Those are things that we love about it. Let's talk about the things that we don't like about it at our next stop. Let's talk about the things that we don't like about the KOTTO. It looks super aggressive. This bike looks like it should be very fast, very powerful, almost like a mini Surron. The thing is, it just doesn't have the guts, the power. We have a lot of other class 3 e-bikes that are faster than this. The styling looks great, but it makes it almost look like it should go faster than it can.
This thing feels a little bit cheap, and also these buttons don't line up. So right now, it looks like it's on right turn signal. Right now, the turn signals aren't going off. I moved this over thinking my right turn signal was on, and that's when Jimmy told me, hey, your turn signals are on.
So this is not lined up correctly, and then the whole unit doesn't feel like it's high quality. Look at how low that derailleur is.
It's really low. That's the lowest we've seen clearance wise on any type of e-bike.
Because it was shipped with so little packing, it was basically this bike in a cardboard box. It had shifted around so much, it had jostled during transport, that the body suffered some damage.
At 6 feet tall, the pedal design is pretty worthless for me. Even if I scoot my butt all the way to the back of the seat, basically I feel like I'm on a clown bike. Yeah, there's not even any extension at all on my legs. They're also worthless in putting pressure into it. It has a 7-speed cassette. However, even on gear 7, when you're pedaling anything past 15 miles per hour, you can't put any pressure into the pedaling at all. Really, on a scooter, the rear brake is the left side. On an e-bike, the rear brake is on the right side. This e-bike, the rear brake is on the left side, which is opposite. Overall, when you're riding it, the geometry feels a little bit off too. So you saw me, I was riding with no hands. It felt fine, but as soon as I hit a bump, the whole front end started shaking like crazy. And it wasn't even that big of a bump. It was just like a crack in the asphalt. Last but not least is the display on this is really rudimentary. It's pretty basic. It doesn't have really good contrast. It is easy to read in direct sunlight, but it just looks dull.
So when we unboxed this, I thought this was going to be like a little mini Surron e-bike type device that we'd be able to rip around on, go really fast. It's not the case. It doesn't go that fast. Then I thought it'd be like an e-bike where I'd be able to pedal and enjoy and have the pedal assistance, but the pedaling with the gearing doesn't match up. I'm not really able to pedal this like a normal bike. So in the end, I'm left with a little device that looks like a bike but doesn't really ride like a bike. So I'm still kind of confused who this is for. Let's go for a ride and talk about who we think should get this bike.
The bike as it stands stock, it's pretty much all bark and no bite. Looks cool, but does not go super fast.
Who do you think should get this, the KOTTO 750L?
As it is stock, it's really good for teenagers and also for adults who are just looking to cruise around their neighborhood and run short errands. This is a great platform for me to upgrade to go faster with the newer controller, better tires, and bigger motors.
I love the aggressive styling. I think someone that's looking to get something that looks cool like a Surron, your kid's bugging you for a Surron, but you don't want them riding around something that could cause a lot of damage because of the speed and power, get them this. It looks cool and it doesn't have all that speed and power. Check out our full written review at our freshly updated website, freshlycharged.com. And when you guys ride, wear your safety gear.